Hi, and welcome to another edition of Kitchen Chemistry. I'm Julie, an educator with the New Mexico Museum of Space History, and today our experiment is where art meets science. And you just need a few items to do this experiment. You're going to need some isopropyl alcohol. It needs to be 70% or higher. Mine's 90%. Rubber gloves, rubber bands, an eyedropper. You need permanent markers, not the washable kind. Scissors, a light colored t-shirt. You need a spray bottle, a cup or a glass, and some water. So go gather up all those materials and join me right back here. I was curious if permanent markers were really permanent. I know that washable markers wash off your hands and clothes with soap and water, but what about permanent markers? Take your t-shirt and put a cup underneath it and place a rubber band around the rim of the cup. Stretch the fabric tight. Take 2 markers and draw on the shirt. Then drop some water on the first marker. Observe what happens. You'll notice that the marker bleeds a little at both ends, but nothing happens in the middle. Now take the isopropyl alcohol and drop a few drops on the other line. What happens here? The purple line seems to fade away and the dye spreads throughout the fabric. Now take your shirt and randomly gather up the material and put rubber bands tightly around the shirt to make little sections. Use as many rubber bands as you want. You can also skip this step and just draw a design on your shirt with the markers and you'll get a similar effect. Make sure to put on your rubber gloves because this is where science gets messy. Take your permanent markers and randomly color each section of your shirt. You can color each section a different color or many colors in each section. Let your inner artist come out. Once you are done, place several layers of paper towel under your shirt and fill your spray bottle with the isopropyl alcohol. Spray the shirt with the alcohol and see the science happen. But what is really happening? The molecules of the dye from the marker are being absorbed by the fabric of the shirt, similar to a sponge absorbing water. This is where solubility comes in. Solubility is the physical property where one substance dissolves into another. Permanent markers do not dissolve in water. Water does not help the dye move in the fabric. But the dye is soluble in alcohol. The isopropyl alcohol helps the dye spread throughout the fabric and creates a great tie-dyed effect. Once the shirt is completely dry, you can cut off the rubber bands and see your creation. If you want, you can repeat the process again and fill in any areas that the dye did not travel to. So how did your t-shirt come out? Were you able to see the solubility of the permanent marker with the alcohol? Well, thank you for joining me today for another edition of Kitchen Chemistry. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, as we're always adding new projects and new information. And as always, stay home, stay safe, and keep looking up.